I'm walking here, is what Baina will be hearing, because she is in New York. So I will be playing Opal this evening. Welcome back to Easy Rollers, everybody. Before we begin, there's a couple of little things I wanted to do. A retcon from the last session. Corbs did in fact message me in the last episode whilst Opal and Rodeo are arguing with the tailor, and asked if they could have some bunny ears stitched onto like the hood of this, their sort of deserty robes, if you want to call it that. And I said yes, but I forgot to actually incorporate that afterwards. So he spoke with the tailor, and rabbit ears were indeed put onto both of your desert clothing. I also forgot to write down the turtle's name from the last episode. Did either of you write it down?
The turtle?
The turtle. Oops, dropped my microphone. Yes, the
yes,
turtle.
hang on a second. Give us a minute to find which, because they called different things in different quests.
I wrote down on my notebook Hobo, but I don't think he was called Hobo. I don't know why he was called Hobo on my notebook, but there we are.
Oh no, I didn't write the turtle's name down. I wrote down Dazza, Kamina's brother, but not the turtle's name.
Oh well, the turtle will go unnamed then for now. Sir unnamed in this episode. That's fine. Shall we have the recap from the previous episode? Let's go for it. So, in the last episode, the party decided that Ferronax should go to meet with Rondeth. He would depart that evening with the party as they were going to venture on to discover what was going on in Illastandria. During the day, they decided to get some suitable clothes for Olio and Opal and stock up on provisions. Later that evening, they met Ferronax at the Sand Lizard stable run by a young dragonborn called Kamina. They set off into the desert in the cool night, and halfway through, Ferronax parted ways for a little-known oasis that he often bathes in his draconic form. The journey was largely uneventful, save for an odd encounter with some fully armoured bronze guard dragging an empty cart through the desert, and a small encounter with some dust mephits that attacked during a sandstorm. They arrived at Illastandria's Sand Lizard stable, run by Kamina's brother Dazza, only he wasn't to be found in his place, but a rather complacent turtle that seemed to be rather clumsy and wasn't able to stop the sand lizards from eating all the goats in the stable. And that is where we pick it up now. So I leave it over to you guys. As I said, Baina's not here, so I will run Opal. If anything kicks off, if one of you could have her character sheet at the ready to run, well, her character in a fight, for example.
Let me just see if I can find that in campaigns.
It should be in the campaign room on D&D Beyond.
I'm just opening a new tab because I wasn't running the campaign window. Campaign.
But anyway, yes, we are outside of Illastandria at the Sand Lizard stable. The Sand Lizards are going crazy for the goats, which they're gobbling away. The turtles sort of there half-assed trying to stop them from doing that. What to do? It's a rather imposing city wall. You can see some of these bronze guard sort of patrolling it, but there's a big open gateway basically into the city. So you have quite an imposing wall in front of you. Some bronze guard patrolling the wall, and there's a large opening which leads into the city.
When you say opening, do you mean a gate?
Like a big, like a gate, yeah.
Oh, it's not like we're sneaking in through a breach in the wall or
anything. No. It's a gate, but there's no like portcullis or anything in it. It's just an open gatehouse.
I didn't want to be sneaking through, an illicit hole in the wall.
No. There's no illicit holes in the wall here. Not in this district, anyway.
That'd be a bad thing in this particular environment. So, I'll ask the unnamed turtle. It's okay to just wander around the city, is it, It's okay, or do we need a reason to go in there, or what,
Oh, yeah, man, you can just go on in and just, walk around and see the sights, smell the smells, and yeah, just uh, you know, get to know the place. Just you're traders, right?
Well, we brought all this stuff to you. That's right.
Yeah, we'll just go do some trading.
Might well see what there is to trade, because, you bring stuff and you trade it like we have done to you, but we've got the journey back to do, so if there's something profitable to take back, then that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there any heads up on anything in the city that you might care to share, with you knowing the lay of the land?
Well, it's not quite the way it used to be, It's it used to be real profitable, and everyone was happy. But now, a bit like Port Horizon, is taxes, and it's a bit more rundown than it used to be. But maybe you get the odd street thief more than what you used to do. So maybe keep an eye on your purses.
Oh, I thought you meant they stole streets.
Hey, that'd be a pretty impressive trick to steal an entire street.
Well, you'd certainly need big pockets.
Definitely would.
Go for a window then, shall we?
Yes, there's no particular district to stay clear of or to worry about, or
No, not really. I mean, everywhere's just as bad as as everywhere else. Really, it's there's no better places than others.
right. You don't happen to have a map, do you?
Not on me, no. But if you look on that board over there, and if you look on the board, there's a board. It's a bit run down and in need of repair and that, but it's one of those sort of like a bird's eye view of the place, and it's got "You are here" with a little star. And it's a circular city, and then you've got in the middle is where the palace is, the king's palace, and then it's like just built all around it basically.
Yeah. Shall we just wander in there then, Rodeo, and see if we can find a market square or something, because, there might be some tradable commodities there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to trade in. See what else we can listen out for.
Oh, what I would say is, if you see any bronze guard, and you will see bronze guard, just try not to do anything to provoke them.
You know what they are?
Yeah,
What
they're
species?
dudes like you.
Human.
Some are human, some are dragonborn, some are, elves, dwarves, tieflings.
You know how they're dealing with this heat in their armor?
Yeah, that's a weird one. Don't know. They kind of all seem a little bit like they're not really all there.
I detect I'm dead. I digress. So we go see what we can see and listen to what we can listen.
Let's explore the marketplaces and the sights and sounds of this place. Why not?
Let's see. Opal probably says, "Do you think we can drink him?"
I think not. I think his shell's a bit tough.
I am so hungry.
You're not hungry. You had half a cow before he came out.
But that was days ago. And actually, if you remember, she did only roll one day.
I thought she rolled 4.
I thought she rolled one.
No, she got 4.
I am not that hungry. I don't want to eat him.
That's better. I mean, it might have been a 1, but I'm sure I heard 4 when I listened back to it.
I don't know if she was playing golf. Maybe,
Well, you let her roll 2d. You let her roll 2d4, so she can't roll the 1.
That's true. That's true. Right. So you head on up from the stable. It's a little uphill climb, paved road, and it takes you on up, and you come to the big archway, the gate, what would be a gatehouse, all open. There's no, like I say, portcullis blocking your way or anything. There's two of these bronze guard either side of it. It's probably about 30 feet across. There's these two bronze guard, and they're just like 1,000 yards there. They don't acknowledge you. They don't look at you. They just seem to be staring into space. But beyond, you see it opens up into this big sort of like plaza area, and you kind of get that impression like this city is a husk of what it once was. There are decaying buildings. There's half-empty market stalls in this plaza. There's an old central fountain which seems to be dry and cracked. Not a great sight. Not what you'd expect. What a king would live in.
How many of the flasks of the special water would I have left?
How much? Say again.
I took a few flasks of that water, didn't I, from the hotel?
Yeah.
I guess it. Can I try pouring a little bit into that fountain that's back there?
If you want to.
Pour a little. I'll pour half of the flask in.
I don't know if you've ever been to a really, really hot country, but you just pour this water out on the ground in this fountain, and it just like pretty much instantly dries out.
Okay. Curiosity. That's it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have magical refilling fountain properties.
Worth a shot. This is D&D. Yeah. We'll head to the marketplace.
Yeah, it's like there's a market. Let's say in this plaza, there's a market already set up, and you see some people, and they're selling old fruit, dried out fish. Some of them have got dried out meat as well. Casks of wine, that sort of thing. Everything is just like barely on its like use by date, sort of best by sort of thing. And they're sort of like almost trading to poor people that live here. You get the impression this isn't what was the prosperity of this city originally. And there's like I said, there's lots of poor people. They seem to be bartering and trying to trade. Yeah.
Well, we'll have a look round at what's for trade.
What's for trade? Well, again, it's like I said, food that's kind of like on the cusp. Old fruit, fish and dried out fish, and dried out meats. Stuff that you would have seen that was fresh in Port Horizon has just come in, and it's obviously been ferried here. One thing you might need to get used to, Corbs, with having a podcast microphone is whatever you're doing, it's like really loud next to the mic.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
I'm just crumpling a paper packet together. I'll stop doing it now.
It's like everyone in the market square is just like stopped, and it's like you're just there like dragging your fingers across a blackboard or something.
Yeah, and they're all eating crisps.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm used to being able to get away with it.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Yeah, like I say, it's all like just old food on the cusp of being like past its best. Stuff that you'd have seen fresh in Port Horizon. It's been brought here for the people, and they're selling it. These market stall traders, but they know it's not good quality. But the people can afford it. That's the thing.
So it doesn't appear to be any local produce, like ceramics or anything that we could take back and trade over there.
Not here, no.
So I'll turn to Rolio and say, I don't think there's anything for us to buy here, Rolio. I think we need to maybe press on. Why not?
We need to go to the better off areas.
Yes, but it's interesting to see this one. It's very culturally enriching.
I think it's more to do with this whole taxation thing that's going on.
Surely, yes, but no, it might be okay. I mean, are there any sort of, taverns or pubs or anything off the square.
I'll have a look for a
Look
tavern.
around.
Yeah, Opal's probably looking as well. She says, I don't know, maybe down this street here. But because you're like hanging around in the plaza, you're not really. You sort of stick out a little bit. There's people are like busily going around. You guys are sort of hanging about, and there's one guy sort of like spots you out the corner of his eye, and maybe he's like overheard a bit of your conversation. And he's a human man, probably about 5'6", 5'7", portly. And he comes over to you and goes, Aha, my friends! You have arrived at a most convenient time. A most inconvenient time, sorry, but then again, when is Illastandria ever convenient? Welcome, welcome, come, drink, eat something. Bland but edible, I know just the alley to hide you from the tax collector. I mean, I know just the alley to find such wonders as fresh food and drink. My manners, sorry, my name is Barak el-Falim.
Bannock or Phlegm?
No, my friend. Barak al-Falim.
Ah,
We
well,
should.
If you want the spelling, it is B-A-R-E-K, Barak, Al-F-A-L-I-M. Barak al-Falim. And he's a human man, about in his 50s. He's got a bit of a wiry beard, sort of like Finnish hair, quite dark skin, dark hair.
How much are you charging for this fresh food and drink, Mr. Fulham?
Oh, no. It is free for you, my friends. I noticed you come in and you don't fit in here, I can see, so I'm going to try and help you so that you know, nothing bad happens to you.
what is it you do here in this August city?
Me? I am a guide for hire, let's say. Translator, fixer, you know. He leans in. Low-level relic smuggler.
Right. Does that mean that they're quite short, or that they're not very good?
At what?
Well, they're low level, so are they quite short relics?
Ha, yes, you are a funny one, you. Yes, no, they are things that would probably fly under the radar a bit easier than others.
Oh, that's some advanced stuff, that radar. Loving it.
Yes, it's a new invention
Right.
of mine.
Very good. Well, you know, it's always handy. Does it do the washing up or something?
It, yes, it does the washing up, let's say.
Right. There you go. Right. I mean, Rolio, do you want any food? Because, you know, I'm not that hungry, and probably drank a camel on the way in or something. I don't know.
I could
Quite
do
interested
with
in
some
the
lads.
relics.
Blood. You're always on about the blood. Oh,
It's my
oh,
favourite.
Barak. Right. Barak, old chap. Is there a butchery or a morgue or a hospital or something around, you know?
Well, yes, my friend, there is a morgue. Butcher, we do have a butcher, but much like if you've probably come from Port Horizon, it's far too hot to keep meat for long, so we try to do it as fresh as possible. We do have some dwarf that brings us dead sheep every now and again. Apparently he's gone into the trade of selling something called a shepherd's pie, I hear.
What? He's already spread the word. This far. He travels fast, a little fella.
Well, we had a cart come in with some shepherd's pies on it just recently.
Oh, God, I dread to think what they'll be like after 3 days in the desert. Probably pre-cooked.
They smelt a bit, I'll say that. They did smell.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, no,
I want to
DM
have a look at your low
Scratch now.
relics.
And he shushes. No, 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 no. We don't discuss that sort of thing here. No, no, my friend, no, no, no. You are traders, yes? And he says it very loudly, sort of so everyone can hear. You are traders, new traders from far off lands, is that right?
My mic not picking it up.
That's right, traders.
From far off lands.
Well,
Far
not that far, you know. Just over there, a couple of days, you know.
Ah, brilliant. From Port Horizon. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, we lost James again.
I don't think you've lost me. I don't think my mic settings
I
are
can
correct.
hear you.
I think I need to change some of the settings on the mic, but I'll just speak a little bit louder for now. I don't think it's picking me up as sensitive as it was on my laptop.
No, you're fine.
Okay, that's fine.
You're fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, show us your wares for trade, shall we say?
Oh, my wares are not here. Well, actually they are, I suppose. As I said, I am a guide for hire. I can show you the sights, the smells, the people of this great city of Illastandria.
Go on then, what's your daily rate?
Well, first day here, I'll give it to you for free. And then after that, I don't know, we'll work something out on the road, shall we?
Well, then, lead the way.
Excellent, excellent. I think I should probably take you to one of my favourite haunts. It is called the Hollow Fig. It is a bar. It is owned by a good friend of mine. She is a half-elf called Maressa Mossy Valuan.
You can spell that in the NPC channel.
Let me get the...
I'm just going to put... It's alright, I'll just put Vanessa in there.
Maressa, Maressa.
Maressa, oh.
Middle...
Just sound...
Her nickname is Mossy, Mossy, but her surname is Velluin.
Right. And she's a bar owner.
She owns the Hollow Fig.
Right, well, let's go there. And what sort do they have? You know, drinks.
Oh, yes. Dark ale. Oh, dark ales. There are wines. You wouldn't think it's a bar, but it is.
All right, I'll probably be going for a nice, refreshing flagon of Beakston's Bold Peculiar.
Ah, I believe that's the special this week.
Excellent. Well, I'll have a flagon or two of that then.
And what about your friends? There's a lady here. She said she likes blood. Most peculiar.
It's a new fad diet. It's a fad diet from Port Horizon. A lot of the temple maidens and such hang around and like to drink a little bit of blood now and then.
Oh, I have not
Makes
heard
their cheeks rosy and stuff, you know.
Not heard of this one. Oh,
Apparently it's
strange.
good for the complexion.
And your friend here, he looks like he likes a good bum. A bum cocktail.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Excellent. Now, I'm compelled to ask, do you have, and he brings you in quite close like a huddle, do you have any magic items or vast amounts of gold on you?
Vast
Why?
amounts of gold.
Anything that might draw attention?
Nothing that would draw attention.
These bronze guard, and there are a couple of them wandering around the marketplace, but sort of individuals, and there's only the two on the gate, but they're quite far apart. When they patrol in numbers, it's almost like their powers seem to meld and grow, and they're drawn to magic items, gold. If you have any significant amounts, it might be enough to draw their attention, then we might have some trouble.
What would you call a significant amount of gold?
Well, I mean, a hefty coin purse. I believe an individual can carry up to 1,200 gold before it becomes a problem. And they have to exchange it into platinum.
Well, if someone had 1,200 gold, surely they'd get somebody else to carry it for them.
Well, you'd be surprised. Not many people around here have 1,200 gold. Well, I don't think anybody around here has 1,200 gold, except for the king.
Well, he's probably got a lot of gold, I would imagine.
Oh, with the taxes he puts on people, yes, a lot of gold.
Sorry,
And
man.
how much gold have I got?
I appreciate the sand gets right in the breathing apparatus, isn't it?
It certainly does, but that's okay, because I've got a can of WD-40 in my backpack, so I'll get a quick squirt of that, and I'll be right as rain.
Good, good, good.
Out of context, well, in context, so does the glaive that I have on my back look magical? Is it just...
No, it doesn't look magical. It's obviously is magical.
Yeah.
Detect magic would certainly show it off for what it is.
Yeah, I ain't got that much gold on me. It's fine.
Well, in that case, follow me. And he sort of hunched over a little bit, sort of starts dad jogging down the street and off towards a side alley. Opal probably shouts, "Wait for us! Wait for us!"
I'm gonna whisper to Gottle, just stay on guard around this one.
You're right. I mean, we don't know him from Adam, so I'm wide awake and watching out.
We will follow.
Yeah, you follow him. He sort of comes off the main street, goes down a side street. A bit like Port Horizon, but the buildings here are much taller, but crumbled. There's sand sort of like built up along the edges of the street and along the sides of the buildings. And he says, "This is not a problem. We never used to have this, but since everything's gone downhill, we don't have the street cleaners anymore. The defences for sandstorms don't go up anymore. The whole place is going to ruin." And then he sees 4 of these bronze guard coming from, like, you're coming up to a cross junction, and he sees like 4 of them marching up, and you hear them chung 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 as they come closer, and then they sort of walk past. So you sort of stop, they go across you, and then sort of, "Come on quickly," and he starts to lead you across straight on, and you hear the footsteps of these guard chung 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 stop. And you can hear them whispering something, and the whispers start to turn into almost like a shout. They're sort of a bit like, "All wealth belongs to the king. All wealth belongs to the king. All wealth belongs to the king." At which point, these 4 guards seem to turn and are coming back in your direction. What to do?
We're going to keep going away from them. And
Yeah.
I will press to digitate a noise behind them.
Barrack, so, "Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry!" And you make a noise behind them. Let me see if they're bothered about the noise. They're not bothered about the noise, but they are still coming towards you. They've sort of come around the corner now and are directly following you. And they seem to be chanting this, "All wealth belongs to the king," at which Opal says, "Do you think they're after my gold?"
I think so. With that, I will cast Wind Wall to block off the alleyway.
How does that work?
I'm not attacking
James?
them.
We're just tourists. Right.
A wall of strong wind rises from the ground at the point you choose within range. You can make the wall up to 50 feet long and 15 feet high, 1 foot thick. And you can skate the wall any way you choose, so I'm looking to block up the whole alleyway. When the wall appears, each creature in the area makes a strength saving throw. But
Can they
I'm
pass
doing it
through
so
it?
it's not obstacle. They have to do a strength saving throw, or they get damaged.
I'll do it for all of them.
Strong wind keeps fog. Small flying creatures or objects can't pass through the wall.
What's the DC?
It's strength DC of 14.
Oh dear. Oh, one of them passes. Two of them pass, two of
We
them
take
fail.
half damage.
Okay,
Right, so it's 4d8 damage.
let me just write down this. Bronze guard 1, guard 2, bronze guard 4. Oh, it pass, pass, fail, fail. So give me the damage again.
It's 4d8, just rolling. 14, 16, 20 points of damage, and then obviously halved.
Did you say 20?
Yeah. But it's half for anyone that made the strength saving throw.
So 20 for the two that failed.
Yeah.
And half, we should put it at 10. Alright. Well, the two that passed through it, I think that's where we're going to roll initiative. And I'll roll in Barrack as well. He can help you. I'll roll initiatives for those guys. Who's rolling for Opal?
10. I've got Opal's character sheet up, so I guess I'll roll for Opal.
Yeah.
Opal got 11.
Cool. And what about Rolio?
Actual 20, so 22.
Nice. Okay, let's roll for these guys. That's an 18, an 11, a 2, and a 16.
I need to decanter some dice.
So we got initiative is Rolio first, and then after Rolio we have Bronze Guard 1, then we have Barrack, then we have Bronze Guard 4, then we have Opal, Gossel, and Bronze Guard 2 and 3. Okay, Rolio, top of the round is your go. You've
I will.
so the ones that succeeded have come through. They look a bit battered. Not too wounded though.
Double checking if I can move wind. I don't think I can. No, I can't move it once it's done. That's fine. I will cast a guiding bolt at one of them.
Yep.
And it's +6 to hit. Yep. So 23 to hit.
23, did you say?
Yes, please.
It does hit. 16 is what number you're looking for.
9, 14, 15 points of damage. That's a guiding bolt at level 1.
15, yeah. That means he's up. Cool. He looks very, very battered now. You kind of see like whatever's going on with him. He's kind of like twitching unnaturally, and he's sort of swapping between common and draconic in his speech. After that, it is his go. And he is going to so that's what they do. So he is going to try and attack you. He's coming at you with his bronze spear. And that is going to be a 60, 17 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Definitely hits. Okay, and he does 8 points of piercing damage.
No, my temporary hit points.
Oh no. Then we move on to Barak. Barak sort of doesn't really know what to do, and he's sort of flailing about, and he's going to use his action, which is a non-combat utility. He can draw attention with wild gesturing and storytelling. Creatures within 10 feet of him must succeed in a DC 13 insight check to see through the act. So he's sort of bouncing around going, no, my friends, these are just outside traders. I'm showing them around. They need to make a 13 insight to see if he's lying or not. They know he's lying because that was a 16. So we move on from Barak to guard number 4, who is on the other side of the wind wall. So he's going to try and push through it. So it was a DC 12, did you say?
Yeah, 12, yeah. Sorry.
He fails. And he takes 20 points of damage.
That's up to you. We can do that, or we can roll it again.
We'll stick with that, and he goes down.
Okay.
Obviously, you wouldn't know that because you can't see him. He's on the other side of the wind wall, but he goes down. It's then Opal's turn, and she's probably going, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" To which Barak would probably say, "Foul little mouth, haven't you?" Let's wait on the podcast. So we're waiting for Corbs is playing Opal, so he's probably learning the sheet a little bit as we go.
So you keep cutting in and out volume-wise, Mike.
Oh, sorry. I think it's Discord again because you keep freezing as well.
Right, it's not your fault.
It's just Discord tonight.
I keep showing that I'm doing stuff, but I'm not. I've got my headphones on, but it's showing the green light around me, even though I'm not speaking or doing anything.
Oh, so you, for me, you keep freezing
So I don't
in
know
terms
whether
of
you're
your
getting
video.
feedback from me or what, but
Don't know. I can't see any, but
yeah. Just one of them that's a heads up that the volume might be a little bit, not the volume, the audio may be a little bit affected, and you may end up having to chop lumps from here, there, and everywhere.
Well, it's the levels coming in are looking all right, so I've got it down again so I can boost it in the recording. But
Oh, happy days.
anyway, Opal, what is she up to?
So what
You've got
what do you think should do?
I think she'd probably attack them and try and bite them, probably, knowing her.
They're all in armour though, aren't they?
There'll be like weak spots, I'd imagine, that she could probably try and.
Okay. I'm trying to find the because obviously I don't know her character that well. I think it was an unarmed attack to.
Yeah, she needs to grapple them first.
Was it a grapple?
And then she might
That's
have a
strength
separate.
check to grapple. So that's
Mhm.
oh, why can't I can't roll that off that? I'll have to roll it off my character sheet. Yeah, just give me a second. I'll roll that. So that would be a 10.
10. Yeah, she can't grapple him. Unfortunately, one of the two guards that she tries to get is able to shrug her off quite easily. They're big boys.
Right. Got anything bonus? Got anything bonus actiony?
I'll let you know once you finish with Opal. It is your turn. It's Gold's turn.
Yes. Yeah, I'll come to that one again. I think she gets 2 weapon fighting, so she does get 1 attack with her rapier. Why not? can actually roll that for a 17 to hit with the rapier.
It hits.
And she will Zorro it for 4 hit points of slashy.
Cool. Well, that kills the most wounded of the 2 that have come through the wind wall. So he's down. So you got 1 more on your side of the wind wall, and it is your go, Gottle.
It is my go. Well, I will cast Nather's Mischief. No, not Nather's Mischief. Okay. So you need to give me a DC 16 con save.
Yeah, no worries. Where's the saving? Oh, that's a natural 20 plus 4.
Well, that's no bloody good at all.
To you?
So he's completely and utterly. That one that's in it is completely and utterly unaffected by it. But anyone else who comes into it has to do the same check, and it's a different check actually. It's a wisdom throw for it. DC 16 wisdom.
So he's okay.
I did the con save because I thought it was good. But anyone coming into it has to do a DC 16 wisdom throw.
Is it quite a big area, is it?
And if they fail, it's 20 foot cube.
So that fills the entire alleyway, basically. That's cool.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that's me. If they do fail, they will giggle until the end of my next turn.
Well, it is that
Until the
guy's.
start of my next turn.
It's that guy's go. Are you quite close to him? Are you? Did you move in for melee or not?
Not particularly.
But Opal
No,
is.
I didn't move in for melee. Opal's in for melee.
Well, in that case, unfortunately, Opal is the one that's going to get it.
Throwing Opal under the bus.
He's going to try and shield Basher out the way. And he hits with, or tries to hit with, a dirty 20, which I think's going to do it, because she's only wearing clothes, isn't she? She's not wearing any armour. So I think her AC is about 12. Which means
I can't see what her AC would be.
I think it was 12 because she was wearing the desert clothes. That's going to be D6 plus 2. In fact, actually, that should have probably been a retcon because I said they could have
15.
Yeah, they could have those leather armour plates, didn't I? I said that, so we could probably boost their AC a little bit. But either way, dirty 20's getting through it. So it does 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And she needs to succeed on a strength saving throw.
Hang on, because I have to do writing down stuff for hit points. Because obviously I can't amend the hit points on.
No, that's cool.
I might be able to actually. But can I? No, I can't. So
No, it's alright. It was always going to be a little bit tough, but
What throw, Mike?
strength saving throw. Sorry.
Strength saving throw. Okay.
Needs to succeed on a 13.
Got a 19.
Cool. So she's not knocked prone. That's the good news. That is the good news. So she just gets bashed in the face with a shield. She's like, "Oh my god, my nose!" We move on to the other guy on the other side of the wind wall. He is going to try and come through with, what did we say it was, a 12, James?
Yeah, strength saving first. So.
Oh my god, I'm rolling well. That's another nat 20. So this guy comes through the wind wall. Does he take half damage? Is that right?
Yeah, half damage.
Yes.
So you see this guy. He sort of comes barreling through the wind wall, buffeted by the wind. His hair's well, his not hair going everywhere because he's under a helmet, but you sort of see anything that could flap is flapping. But the instant he comes through the wind wall, he's like, "Aha!" Oh! And he falls over dead.
Yeah.
So
He didn't even get to giggle before he died.
I will say he goes down giggling as he falls to the ground dead.
Excellent.
We start the top of the round with Rolio, and only one of these guys left.
Yep, I will do my old faithful. I will guide and bolt, please.
Do it up.
Just level 1 again. So 6 to hit on a 16, 22 to hit.
Yeah, that does it. Yep.
That's 11. Can't math. 15. 15 damage. Radiant damage.
He's looking pretty naffed up, but he's still up.
That will be my turn. I'm not wasting a wild shaper.
Cool. It's Barrack's go, and he's sort of dancing around wildly again, going, "Leave them alone! Leave them alone!" I'll see if I can incite it. Yeah, I know this guy's not falling for it. It's then Opal and then Gottel.
Right, Opal will try again with the old grapple.
Cool.
This time for dirty 20.
Yeah.
Oh, a dirty 22.
That is the third nat 20 I've rolled in a row.
Yeah, but I got a 22.
His strength. Hey, you know what? Makes it, breaks it. Puts him at 22 too. You can grapple him.
Oh, yes. So then she'll try and drink.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because I don't know what the mechanics on her sheet are. I can't remember if she needed an actual check for it or if she just does it, but...
I do not know. Features.
I know when I set the character up with her, I think we said that as long as she could grapple, she could do it. So she sinks her teeth in, takes a big drink, and this guy didn't have many health points left. He drops to the floor, dead. And that, gentlemen, is the end of the combat. As Barrack sort of falls, well, not falls over, but he sort of clamps his hands to his knees and leans over and goes, "Whew, well, that was a bit exciting, wasn't it?" And then something unexpected happens. Opal's sort of like cradling this guy, taking out the last of the blood, when all of the bodies go poof, 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 as they erupt into nothing but dust and sand.
Right, so dust and sand.
Is the armor gone as well, or was it?
Everything it just erupts into this sand.
Holy hell, that's not natural.
So are we thinking magic?
I've never seen anything like this. Well, no one's ever stood up to them before. No one's ever had enough gold or whatever it is you're carrying to make them do that. Wait. Did you hear that? There's a faint hum in the air.
Sorry, I think Opal farted.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know what
I'll try
noise you
and
mean.
pinpoint the noise.
It's just like a strange hum in the air, basically. It's not coming from anywhere. It seems to be like almost like the air is a bit electrified.
Let's get out of the area quite quickly and get to this bar off the street, you know.
No, I was just making a roll for Opal because she's next to one of these piles, but she doesn't notice anything. Yes, so we.
Yeah, I think we should get out.
Okay, let's go. And he leads you off, and eventually you arrive at a building, and it's in like a little plaza, and there's in the middle there's a small pool of water with like a palm tree kind of thing over it, shading it slightly, and you see like a couple of kids paddling their feet in it. Perhaps there's an animal, let's say like a dog, like licking some of the water up. And there's a big square building, awning over the doorway. And when you go in, it's actually quite pleasant. You've got like loads of cushions all around. There's the like shisha pipes, so those big standing things with all the fragrant tobaccos, whatever it is, and there's sort of people smoking those. Um, it's a small big piece of like affluence in what is this absolute shit show that these people are living in. And there's sort of like a couple of people just going around and pouring from like vases, like not vases, decanters, like pouring out wine and beer into people's mugs. They've got some old grapes. They're looking a little bit shriveled. Maybe someone's eating some dates or something. There's maybe like monkeys, sort of people have got pet monkeys and stuff like that, and they're sort of running around. And he sort of looks about the place, and that's when the oh, come here, where is it? That's when he spots Marissa, this half elf. She's she's a half elf. She's in like late 60s, so she's sort of showing the signs of aging. The human half of her. She's quite wiry framed, weathered skin, sunspots, long silver hair, tied back with like this scrap of silk, faded green sash on her dress. And he says, "Ah, Marissa, good to see you. May I have?" And he looks at all of you. 4 of your. Let's begin with 4 glasses of your finest wine. And she looks up and goes, "Ah, Marissa, you again, you son of a. Yeah, all right." Then she comes over with this big decanter, and she hands you all like a brass, coppery sort of like goblet each. She looks at Opal, and Opal grins. Whatever. And she pours off wine for all of you. "Is that everything?" He goes, yes. For now. Okay. Well, you can pick up the tab later. You still owe me for the last week." And then he just looks to you and says, "So, that was rather interesting in the alleyway, wasn't it?"
There's no one ever fought them before? You seem surprised.
There are scuffles in the marketplace sometimes, and people get involved in a fight with them, but I've never heard them chanting. What was it they were chanting? Something about wealth for the king or something?
All wealth belongs to the
something
king.
like that.
Somebody, you must have a lot of gold on you or something.
You got a few coins, but nothing. We're not ostentatiously showing anything.
I think they can sense it.
They can sense gold,
They must be able to.
like dragons.
Can dragons sense gold? I have no
Right, I think
experience with dragons.
Maybe in a different world that I get confused with. Yeah, I've always had trouble with guards, so it's no skin off my nose.
Opal's probably looking around the room rather greedily at slightly sloshed people, wondering if she can get away with anything.
I mean, if we did have a little bit of gold on us, a little bit, you know. Is there a place in town where we could change it to something that they couldn't smell?
What, you mean you want to turn your gold into goods?
Or into platinum, or...
I don't think there is anywhere that you could turn into platinum. People don't have that much gold here. Not
Totally.
anymore.
Well, that's a terrible shame.
Well, all the gold in the city comes in from Port Horizon. We don't have anything like that anymore.
So when traders bring stuff in and sell it, do they ever get to take the gold back with them, or do they just get robbed here? Because it doesn't seem like a very solid trading model.
So, Illastandria used to be this place, you see, where people would bring raw materials, and we had expert artisans and crafters and engineers, tinkerers. They would make all sorts of interesting artifacts and other things. So, for example, you may bring the finest silver ingots or bronze, whatever the material may be, and you could leave with a magically infused new sword or armor piece or whatever the device may be. Something for determining the time of day, for example. So anything at all. We could make it, and we could make it magical too. But as of late, that sort of thing doesn't really come into the city anymore. We have these, as you've seen, barely fit for consumption foods and drinks coming up from Port Horizon. People know that bringing, raw materials to make things, craft things, doesn't really. There's no value for it here anymore. Not at the moment. So they bring these less than decent foods up, and the traders often return them with silks or fabrics, something like that. Something that's a bit easier that we can still make, or we've obtained from other trading. They do buy it for gold as well, but not in vast quantities of gold. You're talking transactions of maybe 20 gold or 50 gold. Certainly not enough to raise the eyebrows of the Bronze Guard as it just did then.
What do you know about these Bronze Guard? When did they start guarding?
The Bronze Guard, they've always been here.
Have they always been like that?
As long as I've been around, yes.
How long's that?
Well, I am 50 years old. Am I 50 years old or am I 60 years old? What did I say I am? Hold on, I will tell you how old I am. When I find where I had his details. 50, yes, he's 50. So, yeah, I am 50 years old, and 50 years has always been the same.
And what do you think of your king?
Never really see him or hear from him. We just know that he likes taking all our money.
Was the last time someone saw him?
Quick check, James, because I can't remember off the top of my head. The old crown, did she say it was 100 years or 10 years that people were impoverished for?
I think it was a 10.
10. In that case, I take it back. I had 10 in my head, and I just wanted to double check with you. Yes, so he goes back. He said, "I am 50 years old, and I've only known the last 10 years that this has been a real problem. The Bronze Guard were always perfectly fine before then. Something changed 10 years ago. The king suddenly detached himself from civilization and from the people, and it was all about the gold and tax and money, and the guard changed too. But they were perfectly fine before that. Sorry, say again.
How do we get a meeting with the king?
He spits his wine out. A meeting with the king? You've been in the sun for too long, my boy.
Hypothetically.
You don't go into the palace. Nobody goes into the palace, not unless you're a bronze guard.
So one does not simply walk into the palace. Is that right?
One does not simply walk into the palace, no.
See. Can we take a number and wait a bit, or is there no way of getting in there?
No, not that I know.
Right. When does the king do walkabouts and, little rides through the town waving at people?
Not in at least 10 years.
So he hasn't been seen much then?
At all.
At all? God, they've got a stealth king. That's pretty good.
You brought us here for a reason. So let's not beat around the bush.
I just brought you here to get you out of harm's way, and unfortunately harm seemed to find you anyway.
Yeah, we got a way of doing that. Neatly. But can we talk freely here about these spells that you want to do? These runes?
Runes?
Yes.
Relics?
Level relics.
Oh, the relics.
Yeah,
That's,
I
I don't
was
really
trying to
talk
be a
about
bit.
runes.
Yeah. I was trying to be a bit under the table.
Yes, no. Everyone here is like me. We are all traders, trying to survive.
What have you got?
I haven't got any. Sometimes people bring things into the city they found in the desert, perhaps of interest, and we buy, we sell, we trade.
Is that what magic is?
Sorry, mate, what was that?
You tell what magic, if magic items are magic.
Well, yes, we can identify magical items.
Okay. So, where shall we go next then? Or are we waiting for quieting it down? Or
Well, like I said, I was bringing you out of harm's way, really. You stood out like a
But
sore thumb.
But you mentioned you were a guide, so surely you have some ideas on places that would be worth knowing about in the city.
What do you want to do in the city? Why did you come here? Clearly don't belong.
Trade. But traders always belong. We might stick out like a sore thumb because we're a little different. But traders always belong somewhere,
Are you really traders, though?
But of course we're really traders.
Come
We
on
brought
now.
some stuff in.
Come on
We
now.
dropped it off with. We brought some stuff in for trade, and there's no point going back with empty sand things, is there? Sandless. We might as well fill them up with something. Otherwise, you're halving your profits. You're only making a profit on the way out. You've got to do it right. You make a profit on the way back.
So what have you got of interest to me, then?
We've sold our stuff at the old drop-off point there. That's done with. But now we're going to have our journey back to Port Bree. So is there anything in town that's worth buying to take back to sell at Port Bree? Because that would double our profits, you see.
You could always try out the Trader's Den. That's one place you could go.
Trader's Den. Sounds like a promising and slightly...
There is the Grindbone Curios.
Right, Grindbone Curios. That's what, some sort of novelty shop?
It sells knickknacks, magic oddities, junk. What else have we got? You've got the Ember Spindle. It's an old forge. Those are places of worth looking at, I suppose. They don't make anything particularly exciting these days.
I see. Would it be worth checking those places out? Because we are, fully legitimate bona fide traders, with trading licenses and everything.
Yes, I'm sure you are.
That's right. Well, if you wanted, I could sell you a second-hand bridge in Porthbury. Very nice.
A second-hand what?
Bridge.
Bridge?
It's a thing that goes over water.
We don't have much of that here.
But imagine if you had a bridge, people would think you had water. How important would you feel then?
I suppose I feel quite important. How do you have a bridge?
Well, you pay a certain amount of currency, and we ship the bridge out to you in small packages over a period of months.
I see.
It's kind of a build-your-own project.
Build your own bridge, eh?
You get 2 stones a month and a magazine.
The last one never comes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we could have a chat with this blacksmith guy. Do you know any? I'm gonna show him the glaive. I was like, would you know anyone that can take this apart?
We could go and see the blacksmith.
I think it needs a little bit more than a blacksmith.
Well, let's go and see the blacksmith, because, you might have a look and go, oh, yes. You might go, oh, no, I know the person who can do this.
Just bear in mind, don't get your hopes up too much. I mean, as I've already mentioned, and you've seen, anything too powerful, they will be looking for it.
Yeah, I don't really that fussed about the bronze guards anymore.
Well, you should be.
Might be a little bit more fussed if there's more than 4 of them, Rodeo. Let's not get
Maybe.
blasé here. There's only 3 of us, and we are traders, after all.
Yes, very true. Very true.
I don't know if there's any. Did you get the impression that they were under the control of something or someone?
Got the impression that something a lot bigger is getting their hands on the city.
I would just be concerned that if they are under the control of something, then perhaps they now know about you. If you took out some of their people.
I don't think they were people.
That's a good point, well made. I'll draw a little French curly moustache on myself with my disguise kit.
Oh my God, where did Gottel go? Who is this man? Who is this man that has suddenly appeared before me?
Qu'est-ce que c'est cette bordel? Je sais pas.
Sure, we can have face covers or something for me and the young girl.
Yes, you could wear scarves over your faces.
Feeling that might not work either. If it is something controlling, then it is magical.
He goes off to someone and he says, "May I?" And he takes their headscarves and he sort of wraps them around you and sort of covers up your face so it's just your eyes peeking out. There you go, unrecognisable.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
That's better than my solution. I was going to draw a moustache on Opal too.
Actually, well, you could do that because I noticed they have hoods with some funny rabbit ears on. They could just pull those up and be unrecognisable too. He takes the headscarf and throws them back to the other people. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just put your hoods up.
I'll draw a bunny nose and whiskers on Opal's face.
She's like, oh, that tickles.
Do you want a bunny nose there, Rodeo?
I don't think we'll be able to see it with my mask on.
I'll draw it on your mask.
No.
No.
I'll need to do a 30-degree wash.
Right, sorry about that. Right. Well, do traders have immunity from taxes here?
No, haven't. If they had immunity from taxes, they wouldn't be so poor.
That's true. But surely they want stuff to be brought into the city, so they need traders. So why are they persecuting traders?
They're just trying to get gold from every angle they can. They don't care where they get it from. They're just taking it from everybody. He sees Opal about to flick a date up into her mouth and he catches it mid-air. As there's a dead monkey sort of lying on the floor. He goes, "Ah, bad dates," and throws it away.
Right. Nothing like a
I'll
bad
get a
date.
monkey.
You want a monkey?
Yes.
He sees one running around. He just catches it. And he puts it on his shoulder. And there, you are his now. And the monkey sort of looks a little bit, oh.
Yay. I have a pet monkey.
It shits down your shoulder.
Fine, I will train it. I'm a druid after all.
While you're sleeping, I will illicitly untrain it. Because I don't
job.
sleep.
And I will drink his blood.
You're not
He won't.
drinking Bobo's blood.
Is this what we're calling it
What's the
now?
name, Bobo?
Bobo?
Yeah, Bobo. Bobo's sticking. Bobo Robo.
You can't drain your pets. It's not allowed.
Just a little
Drain
bit.
me before the you can drain me before you drain Bobo.
Maybe just a little bit later. We'll see.
You've just eaten. You keep drinking blood time after time, you're going to put on weight.
Oprah, what did you get from feeding on that thing?
Ah, not a lot. Little bit.
But was it blood?
Yes. It was blood.
When it turned to dust, what happened? Did the blood in your mouth turn to dust? Or?
No, but I got a mouthful of dust.
Interesting.
Oh, I also found this. And she pulls out like a gold coin. Let me just see. What was it? Yeah, she pulls out this sorry, not a gold coin, a bronze coin, with a strange like sigil on it, and it seems to like be pulsing really faintly with magic. At which point Barrack sort of goes, where did you find this? And she says, in the body. I have seen this before. This is not normal. That's a curse. That's some sort of curse. Ooh.
Do you think that's how they communicate with them?
Maybe, but this is very bad.
Right.
We
Is
could
there
be
anywhere
very doomed.
Is there anywhere we can throw it out of a window? Or into a sewer or something?
You could throw it out of that window into the well just outside where the children were washing their feet.
Do you make a wish?
Well, I wish it would hit some child on the back of the head and bounce in, but...
Hashtag me too.
Can we throw it out the window then? Will Opal throw a gold coin? Or a gold-looking coin out the window?
But if it is cursed, I don't want it.
Okay, then throw it as hard as you can into the well there.
Okay.
Extra bonus points per child that it hits on the way in.
What's her strength bonus?
+4.
Oh, okay, that's not so horrendous. 15. She flicks out and you hear a child go, "Ow, my eye!" Followed by a sploosh. It's up to whether that was the child's eye or the coin that splooshed.
I think we'll go for the coin.
Child starts crying, "Mommy!" And they run off.
Right, well, let's get rid of that then. Did you pick up any other ones, Opal, or was it just that one?
Just that one.
Are you sure?
100%.
Right, well that's that gone out of the way then, me old fella.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure if that's going to help, but okay.
We should be slightly less doomed.
Doomed,
We
doomed,
go see the blacksmith.
doomed.
Doomed, aye.
Well, would you like me to escort you around any more, or are you willing to go it alone?
We don't know our way round.
So you wish me to come with you then?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not,
Excellent,
indeed?
excellent. This danger, adventure, excitement, oh, this gets the old dog going.
What was that? What was you trying to do earlier when we was fighting them?
Oh, I like to use my skills as a talker to try and talk them down, you see? I believe you can talk yourself out of any situation. I don't really do fighting.
What did that work out for you?
Well, I'm still alive, aren't I?
Is you right? Was he a bard, I'm guessing?
No. Doesn't have. He's just an NPC. Doesn't have a class.
Well, that's a terrible shame. Perhaps he could teach you some barding and give you an extra income.
Well, that wouldn't be such a bad thing. I do quite enjoy not having any class, though. Get yourself into all sorts of situations when you have no class.
Indeed. Indeed. Right. Did you say you wanted to see this blacksmith, Rolio?
See if we can actually get anyone that can sort out this glaive.
Okay, I'll lead you on to the blacksmith then, shall I?
If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. But maybe not by the main roads.
Well, it was the problem was in the back alley, so
Well, maybe by the main roads, and wherever you think there'll be less of this bronze guard.
I'll see what we can do. And he takes you out of the tavern. He sort of bids farewell to Marissa, wasn't it? Marissa? Yes, Marissa.
Yeah.
He leads you off into the streets, and he sort of looks about himself and maybe pulls his. He's got like a. I didn't actually tell you what he was wearing. He's wearing like a long white, sort of like dressy kind of robe type thing, and he's got a nice bluish waistcoat which he pulls about himself and a scarf around his neck. He pulls that about himself and hurries off down the street and takes you with him. You do see some bronze guard, but only like one or two of them. There's no like groups of them patrolling. And you arrive at an open building, much like the Goliaths in Port Horizon, because it's too hot to have this all indoors. It's all open, and it's a ash-choked, barely functioning forge. He's got like tools all hung around on different shelves and that, a bit like a memory really of what it once was. And you see this one-armed dwarf, quite grizzled, grey hair, a grey beard, and that very sunburnt skin, and he's sort of working some scrap metal. And he's there with his one arm, just dunk, dunk, dunk with the hammer on the forge, on the anvil, sorry. And he goes, "Oh, Hargo, Hargo! I'd like you to meet my friends. Everybody, this is Hargo Tynesoot." And he looks up and goes, "Ah, good to meet you, good to meet you. What can I do for you then?"
I pull the glaive off my back and hand it over to him. See if you can. We can see there's an opening, and I'll show him where the opening is. But no one can get this open.
He looks at Barrack expectantly, and Barrack looks back to us. I will reimburse you for your time later, but can you help them? They are new to the city, outsiders. And he looks at the thing, and he takes it in his hand, and I could probably do something with this. What do you want done with it?
Just when it opened up, there's something inside. I'm sure of it.
He takes out like a one of those miniature microscope type things that you might put up to your eye. He sort of starts examining it. This is interesting. Got some sort of ward on it. I'm quite used to forging. Used to forge ceremonial weapons for the court. They had enchantments and such on them. Hey, tell you what, I think we need to get Snobberick around here. He's the owner of Grindbone Curios. I think he'll know what to do as well. We can work on it together, and I need the extra hand, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely fine.
Tell you what. He looks at Barrack. Barrack, why don't you go off and get Snobrick? Tell him to come over here. It's not very far away. I can do that, yes. And he storms off, and he's sort of like looking at it, and he's getting out some different tools and stuff. And you can almost see like in the way that Hargo's moving, he's actually quite excited. This is the first time anyone's brought him any real thing of value and a challenge, and he's getting all these tools out that have been hung up very ceremonial for a while, and starts putting some grease on certain hinges and such like that. And eventually Garrick returns. Barrack returns with Snobrick, which is this little desert goblin. They've got very tanned skin, these great big thick goggles on top of their head. And they're sort of wearing a leather apron and dirty trousers. And Barrack says, "Here we are, Hargo. Snobrick's here." And Snobrick will sort of go, "Hey there, Hargo. How can I help you today? I haven't worked with you for a while." And he goes, Snobrick, yes. And he sort of shows him the glaive, and he's pointing at different things, and Snobrick says, well, that's good. An old enchantment like this. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. Okay, and he takes out this book, and he gets some like tools out as well, and he starts placing these different instruments on the glaive where they see the join is, and he starts like recounting these, reciting these incantations from the book, and you see it all starts to glow and shake and pulse with energy. And he said, "Go on then, Hargo, hit it there. Get your hammer and hit it there." And he keeps going with the incantations, and this magic seems to start to glow up and become more intense. And Hargo's like, "Here we go, bang!" And you see a crack form in the join, and then bang, another crack forms. And then the magic sort of pulses through, and then you see like an explosion almost as the actual shaft of this thing shatters. And there, lying on the floor, in amongst the ruins of this weapon, which is now useless, is a small fragment that is recognisable to Rodeo. Pixis comes out, and then Hargo and sort of Snobrick and Barrack are there looking at it, and as you sort of approach, Hargo says, "Can I keep the metal for myself? I collect scrap metal."
If this works, you can. Yes.
And Snobrick says, "Can I take the casing? Because I like to collect broken enchantments, you see."
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. And Hargo will say, "Consider this payment for our service then, yes?" I've lost the voice there. "Consider this payment for our service then."
I will give you some money as well.
We don't talk too much about money around here. Just keep it keep it quiet, all right?
Right.
So Pixis is out, and Pixis is excited. Like, Pixis, more off, Pixis. Shard.
Do something then. And then I'll point him at the shard.
You sort of point the blade at the shard, and you sort of see the energy trying to like spark and arc towards it, and then it sort of starts to levitate off the ground, and everyone's looking on quite amazed at this. And then it sort of sucks into the blade and bonds with it. The blade doesn't seem to change at all. It was only a small sliver. But that's where you hear Pixis will say to you, that's better.
She got a proper voice now.
A proper voice? Do I? I do. I can speak freely.
So, we have lots of questions. I have lots of questions. Like, why me?
I need rest.
Fine. I'll draw up him away. We will talk with.
Put the blade away. Hargo and Snobrick are quite sort of taken aback by this, and Barrick's like, well, that was very exciting. But what was that blade? It's probably what drew the bronze guard to you.
Really? And I passed them a gold each, and I'll be very grateful if it wasn't mentioned ever again.
We won't say anything. Won't say anything. And thank you for the gold, but I'll have to hide it away now.
I don't know if I've got anything other to trade. That's worth anything, to be fair.
You wouldn't have any lead.
I don't have lead. What do you want lead for?
I just wondered whether lead's quite a dense metal, isn't it?
Yes.
Just wondered whether if we made like a box out of lead, that it might hold some gold inside it and might not set off the guard.
Worth a try.
Could you make one?
Aye. And he goes off, gets some strips of lead and sheets of lead. He says, give us an hour and I'll see what I can do.
Looking to make a little safe, are we?
Well, just thinking that, you know, if it was to work, that could save us having a lot of fights in the city, you know?
Because I've got a feeling even if we hide this gold, it will be found.
It's worth a try, isn't it? For a small amount of...
As you said, though, we do have not an infinite amount of gold, but at your hometown.
Yes, but it's getting there when you've got nothing to buy supplies with. You're a flesh bag, you need to eat now and then.
I do, unfortunately.
I do need to buy the odd can of WD-40.
Maybe we could line the inside of your cabinet.
Maybe. But if we test out the little box theory in the backpack, that saves me having any internal plumbing done before I know it works.
Well, Argo's getting to work on making the box.
Where else was we looking to go to?
We were looking at trading, weren't we? You know, picking up some stuff trade back at Porthbree and, maybe having a look around the wonders of the place and figuring out.
Do need to get some more information about what's going on here. I think it's about. The best place is normally a more public tavern than what was in earlier. I think tonight we find an inn of sorts.
We could do, or we could find a quiet corner and I'll cast Tiny Hut.
It might actually protect us from the bronze guard, actually. Not just a pretty face, hey go.
Not at all, not entirely anyway. I mean, if we wanted to get, a hotel room or something, I could cast Tiny Hut inside the hotel room. And you got an extra layer of security.
That will work, because then we can still get information as well.
Let's do that then.
I think information is the most powerful thing we can have in this city.
I think a bit of a handle on what's going on is never amiss. But like I say, prior to sleeping down, I think we'll want to be inside the tiny hut there to make sure that the bronze guard aren't coming by calling when we're asleep, Or when you're asleep anyway. I mean, I don't sleep, but I do have to have a little bit of downtime.
Yeah. Can we take a window around to see what we see and hear what we can hear?
Yeah, I mean, before you leave, Hargo will say, make sure you come back for your box.
We will. About an hour, you say?
Aye, you can see he's really making quite a good bit of progress on it. Bit of welding going on, and
I mean, do we want to just drink here and wait for him to do that? Oh no, it's a blacksmith's. We can't just drink here. It's not a bar.
aye, you can drink here. I've got a cask of the finest Beakston's Peculiar.
Oh well, you can't beat a couple of Beakstons now and again.
Help yourself.
Yes, let's have a couple of big
There's a couple of glasses over there.
Right, so let's do that while we wait, because I don't want to be venturing out if we can put stuff in a box.
I mean, if this works...
It sounded like you said you didn't want to venture out for butt stuff.
Well, I don't want to do that either. It's not the first thing you do well, maybe it is in some people's books, but it's not the first thing I do when going to a new city,
Venture out for butt stuff.
Yeah,
well, you're a sailor. You'd know about that kind of stuff.
Hey, there was girls on my ship.
Anyway.
That's right. But you did get propositioned by those dwarven swingers.
Yeah, nothing happened there. My friend that disappeared wouldn't be very happy if I did that.
That's what you said. That's maybe not what they'll be reporting back.
Well,
I think I might be in a bit of trouble with them dwarves.
Oh dear.
Maybe not the dwarves, maybe the authorities when we get back. But we'll deal with it.
An hour passes, and Hargo very excitedly comes over to you with a lead box. Perfect cube. Smooth it all out and everything.
Excellent, and it's got a lid on it.
A lid?
Well, we want to put something inside it, the box.
You didn't say it needed to be open, you said you wanted a box.
Well, I want a box that you put stuff in.
Well, you didn't say that, you just said you wanted a box.
Is it hollow on the inside?
Aye.
Right, that's okay. I can push through.
Do you want me to put an opening in one side?
Just, maybe a little coin slot or something,
He puts a slot into it for you. Gets his little tin cutting things and starts putting a hole in there for you.
Lovely. And, that bit of lead that you cut out, could you, fashion it into a bung?
Well, no, it's only a very thin sliver, wasn't it, to fit your coins in?
Well, that's true, but if you got another bit of lead to fashion into a bung,
Aye.
could you fashion a bung so we could slot it in the slot and be able to take it in and out like that, but block up the hole?
I see. I thought you meant a bigger hole. No, I can just put that piece back
No,
in.
I'm not bunging any other holes. I'm not a sailor.
He just puts the sliver back in place of where he took it out. There, it's covered up.
Right.
If you put this in, it's going to take forever to get them back out, you know that.
It's
Have
fine.
you ever tried, like, emptying a piggy bank upside down?
It's fine. It's lead. We just, smash it open.
I will deposit my 5 platinum and 6 gold in.
Opal's like, do
No,
I
4
have
gold.
to?
Yes.
Oh. She empties her coin purse into it.
Right, now I'll empty mine. It's quite full and quite heavy.
You now have an incredibly heavy lead box.
It's fine, so I should have got him to make 3 lead boxes, shouldn't I?
Yeah, possibly.
I don't have enough for 3 of these.
I know, but you could have made 3 smaller ones, couldn't you?
I suppose I could have done. Didn't think about that, though, did we?
I didn't think about that, but we'll just take it as read that, we can manage that. I'm going to cast Unseen Servant to help me carry it. He can walk along behind me holding up the back of my rucksack for me.
How long does that last for?
Oh, ages. Absolutely ages.
10 minutes to be precise.
It's an hour.
Oh, ages.
Ages.
How would it weigh?
Sorry?
How heavy would it weigh? Because we all changed our gold to platinum.
We changed some of the gold in the ship to platinum. Some of us had a substantial amount of gold before we went to the Sky Island.
We said that was the magic number. We said 1,200 gold was the maximum anyone could carry.
Yes.
But if you got 3 people's worth in one box,
I only have 500 because I paid for. I think me and Baina have 500 left.
Baina paid for hers with platinum, so she still has 1,200 gold.
I only have 500.
it's a very heavy box.
And I also had 1,200 gold.
I've got to spend all my money.
You could always leave your box here and just come and get it when you need to. Or hide it.
Only just met.
There is that, we could hide it there. I could cast a little warding spell on it,
It goes bang if someone tries messing with it.
Well, no, what to do is I would press to digitate, but make a big show of it, and cast an image onto the surface of the box. I'm not explaining this out loud, that's what I'm actually doing. And make it look eldritch and horrible. And say, look, it's protecting now by magic.
I'm happy with that.
Cool. Yeah, Hargo slips it inside of a chest. Don't worry, it'll be quite safe in there.
Just marked it up there with that little protection symbol, because that'll protect you as well.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Right, Rorio, you've got an hour before that wears off, so you'll have to be quick in collecting your info.
And I think given the time, we'll start
Yes.
that hour at the next session. And we can go on the hunts for information. In another exciting episode of Amion! Woo!
Next week on Amion, Rocket Man's trousers fall down. Ah! Don't know if you ever saw those old black and white Rocket Man sort of episode sort of things, you know, like the little mini sort of 10-minute snips. You know, he starts the episode rolling down the hill in a car with no brakes, but he finishes it in another cliffhanging situation. Next week on Rocket Man.
I haven't, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
No idea.
Rocket Man was great because the writers sort of forgot the precept of the fact that he had rockets in his boots. That was his whole shtick. And yeah, he got sort of Rocket Man careering down the road in a car with no brakes. What will happen next week? Find out. Well, I assume he flies out of the car with rocket boots, but you know.
Well,
maybe not.
Thanks very much for playing. Hopefully next time we'll have Bana back from across the pond.
Yeah.
And
Well, I would imagine she'll be back.
I hope so.
She's back in time for next week, isn't she?
I haven't got a clue.
I think she said she was going to be back in time for next week. If not, Strad will be quite light on bodies.
Well, let's sign off from this and then we can discuss that in just a second. Thank you everybody for listening, for watching. Thanks to Pocket Bard as usual for the music and sounds that were in the background. That's all I have to say. Good night.
Cheers.
Cheerio.